Hare Krishna, Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. So we start from text 5, second part, the qualities of Madhyam Adhikari. So till now we discussed the qualities of Kanishta Adhikari, or somebody on the lower level of bhakti who is not so advanced. Of course, very respectable, because after all he is practicing devotional service. Manushyanam sahasreshu kaschid yatati siddhaya yatatam api siddhanam kaschin mam veti tatvata. Out of thousands of men, some people understand the importance of devotional service. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyante. After many births, somebody surrenders to Krishna. Brahmand Brahmite kona bhagyavan jiva Guru Krishna prasade paye bhakti lata bija. Kona bhagyavan. Very rare and fortunate is the person who actually surrenders to Krishna and get the mercy of Guru. So therefore, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, all have to be respected. But then we have to understand, we have to elevate our consciousness to the higher levels. So we have Madhyama Adhikari. What is Madhyama Adhikari? In fact, Madhyama Adhikari is the one who understands the need of preaching to other living entities, need of training, need of correcting, need of picking up the standards of the fallen conditioned souls. Let us see, based on the qualities, deals. In Kanishta Adhikari also we discussed about dealings. So, in Kanishta Adhikari also we discussed about dealings. Now, talking about dealings for Madhyama Adhikari, deals at 4 levels. What are the 4 levels? Let us see that. When we talk about dealing at the 4 levels, yes, dealing gets refined. In Kanishta, he only deals with the deities. But here, dealing gets refined. He recognizes certain other important principles in his dealings. He or she understands that Lord is present in the heart of every living entity. So, dealing has to be appropriately done. One cannot be whimsical in one's dealing. Just like you see deity in the temple, every body is carrying a soul and super soul. Body is a place where the soul worships the super soul. So body is a temple of the Lord. So that way every temple has to be respected. But he also sees some people do not respect the super soul. So therefore he may avoid them. So let us see. First dealing is prema. Krishna is the object of love. Very lovingly they offer worship to the deities. You see, Krishna is their object of love. Everything is centered around pleasing Krishna. The deity is the center of the community. The whole family lives for the pleasure of Krishna, for the deity. May please Krishna in various ways. They maintain cleanliness for Krishna, punctuality in service for Krishna, best quality of offerings offered to Krishna, wonderful kirtans done for Krishna, wonderful narrations done for Krishna. But Krishna is the object of love. Patram pushpam phalam toyam yume bhakteya parayachati. So with great love and devotion they offer a leaf, a flower, a fruit or a water. Man mana bhava mad bhakto mad yaji mam namaskuru. They offer obeisances, they pay their homages, they remember Krishna, they think about Krishna. Krishna is the object of love. They discuss about Krishna. Matchita madgata prana bodhyante parasparam tushyanti cha ramanti cha. Their satisfaction and pleasure is only hearing and discussing about Krishna. Then they have Maitri. Maitri means makes friends with the devotees. Very important. Because making friends with devotees is very important. Because this is something which is going to nourish our bhakti lata bij. Hearing and chanting is going to take place very nicely only if you have good friendship with the devotees. Now please understand, this friendship is not like a mundane friendship where we come together based on similar natures. Just because you scratch my back, I scratch your back. Just because both of us like certain food, both of us South Indians, therefore we come together. Both of us Chinese, therefore we come together. Or both of us have similar food habits, come together. Similar dress habits, come together. Both of us have similar living habits, we come together. No, or just based on physical attraction. No, not that kind of friendship. That is very much on a physical platform. This means here we are open for friendship with with devotees who are there to serve Krishna. Krishna is the center in our relationship. Actually, such friendship can be experienced after years and years of practice of Krishna consciousness, practically speaking. When people come initially to Krishna consciousness, they are wondering how to make friends here. Sometimes we see they have more stronger friends outside the community. And in the community also they might have friend in the principle of you scratch my back, I scratch your back. You satisfy my needs, I satisfy your needs. You steal Mahaprasad for me, I'll steal Mahaprasad for you. Things like that. You do half of my job, I'll do half of your job. Like that. I cook nice food for you, you do all my job on the computer. Things like work-based. No, this friendship is not just work-based. This is a much, much deeper level of friendship. In the mundane friendship, when we demand so much out of our friend. We demand his time, we demand his likings, we demand his sacrifice, everything. We may not say, but we expect so much. So much expectation is there. The moment we say friend, he should care for me. He should think about me. Spiritual friendship is different. Spiritual relationships are different. Spiritual relationships are beyond any physical pleasure given to each other. It might be, but that is not the criteria. Spiritual friendships are beyond time factor. Spiritual friendships are beyond any cheating propensity, beyond any selfish motives. Whether you get time, gifts, pleasures from other person or not, but spiritual friendships are based on a strong service to Guru and Krishna. Like Krishna and Sudama are actually serving their Guru in the forest, holding the hand of each other in heavy rains, trying to collect some wood for the pleasure of Guru and Guru, spiritual master. So therefore, such friendships are very, very deep, where one holds each other just to protect each other for the service of Guru. It's quite a selfless concept, free from any egoistic concerns. Therefore, sometimes it takes many years to understand what is this spiritual friendship. Maybe 10, 15, 20, 25 years to understand the deeper relationships of spiritual friendship, which are beyond the space constraints. Even if you are not living close to each other, far away in different cities and countries, you might be more intimately linked to each other than the person next to you, based on service to Guru, spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada, first time when he left the Western countries to come to India, back first time, devotees, the initial devotees were very disappointed. Srila Prabhupada said, as long as you are chanting Hare Krishna and I am chanting Hare Krishna, we are always together. We always feel the presence of each other next to us. So, Maitri, there is a principle of friendship with sincere devotees. Then Madhyamadikari shows Kripa, merciful to the innocent. Merciful. Compassion is the nature of an exalted soul. Compassion is the nature of an advanced soul. Because compassion is the nature of bhakti. The bhakti itself has a very inherent component, that is compassion. It is the nature of bhakti to transfer to others. So therefore bhakti cannot stay in the heart. When bhakti grows, bhakti lata beach, it has to pour to others' heart. Bhakti always pours out to others, spreads to others. Because the inherent component of bhakti is compassion. Therefore, one cannot get bhakti by his own deeds. It is the nature of bhakti to come through us, from the hearts of those who have bhakti. So, bhakti comes from bhakta or a devotee. Bhakti cannot come just by simple mundane pious credits. Bhakti comes from other bhakta. Therefore, nature of Madhyamadikari is Kripa. He is very merciful to the innocent. Then we have Upeksha. avoids the envious. So we see there are 4 kinds of dealings. He avoids the envious. Those who do not worship the super soul, supreme Lord in the heart, avoids their contaminating association. As we already discussed, one has to avoid Mayavadi and atheists. So Madhyam Adhikari deals at these 4 levels. Like Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Krishna says, do not preach this message to those who are envious. In Bhagavatam, Lord Kapila Dev tells the mother Devahuti, this message of Sankhya philosophy should not be given to those who are envious. So Madhyam Adhikari, Srila Prabhupada says actually an advanced devotee takes the risk. Although Krishna is telling not to give, still a devotee understands. That is the exalted mentality. And sometimes does take the risk of holding big public programs where there are envious, innocent, all kinds of people. Because he understands Krishna's desire that bhakti should be given to everyone. So deals at 4 levels. Faithful, he has firm faith in chanting. The Madhyam Adhikari has a very firm faith in the process of chanting. We see in the previous Soviet Union, when it was not at all allowed to practice any religion, and Krishna consciousness was highly condemned, many people became devotee and they were in the prison. For several years, Bhagavad Gita could not be brought into the country. For 4-5 years, they did not even look at Bhagavad Gita. They had no idea what Bhagavad Gita is. So they had no knowledge, but they had firm faith in chanting. They were always chanting Hare Krishna. It is also described by the devotees from those era that they had pieces of bread. They would break the pieces of bread into 108 pieces. And that becomes their mala because the beads were not allowed. And since the beads were not allowed, these beads, they would pick up one piece of the bread and chant. This is how determined they were to chant Krishna's holy name. Because they had faith. Hare Nam, Hare Nam, Hare Nameva Kevalam Kalau Nasteva 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 Katirannitha. There is no other way, no other way, no other way. They were not thinking about the temporary prison. They were thinking about the prison of material world, prison of birth and death, and prison of this material life. The only way out of it is connect to Krishna through Hare Krishna Maha Mantra. That's why it's called Maha Mantra. When His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, our founder Acharya, asked Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur that you are telling me to go and preach this message in the West, but in fact, he was telling, you are saying me to preach the message to everyone, but in India, who will listen to the message? First thing we are looking for is independence from the Britishers. Bhakti Siddhanta said, this movement cannot wait. This is an emergency. Krishna consciousness is an emergency. Cannot wait, has to spread right now. Considering that, independence or no independence, political situation will never change. Today this government, tomorrow some other government. And now we see in the name of secularism, nobody allows public programs. It becomes so difficult sometimes. You go to university, schools, colleges, nobody hears to Krishna consciousness. So what is the difference between the British government and the Indian government? It's all the same. So preaching has to be done. One cannot wait for the political situation to change. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur had firm faith in chanting. When Srila Prabhupada went to the West, his faith was he had the holy name, Bhagavatam and the order of spiritual master. He sat down in the middle of a park with no one knowing what he is doing, started chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Because this is the process which will attract, everyone will be attracted to the holy name. We have also heard sometimes Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur would make Those disciples sing the kirtan who is not very good in singing. Because he knew it is not the music, it is the holy name which is going to attract. Firm faith in the chanting of the holy names. So therefore, Madhyam Adhikari or Uttam Adhikari has firm faith in the chanting. But a Kanishta, the faith is very poor. So therefore, as soon as possible, one has to rise from Kanishta to Madhyama platform, because if the firm faith in chanting is not there, one may give up Krishna consciousness at any point of time. This one has to understand. Because Krishna knows, or especially material energy knows, how any time your weak seedling of bhakti can be attacked by any kind of challenges. So as long as one has not developed a firm faith and has become undeterred in his practices, he is in a dangerous position. Srila Haridas Thakur, he kept on chanting when the prostitute came to challenge him. So this firm faith in this process of chanting, one has to develop. And then one can progress further. Therefore, one of the offenses in the chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra is to not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu therefore in Shikshashtakam says, Nam Namakari Bahuda Nij Sarva Shaktis Tatrarpita Niyamita Smaranena Kalaha. Nam Namakari Bahuda. There are so many holy names and all the potencies of the Lord are present in this Mahamantra. In the name of the Lord, all the potencies are present. You just connect to these potencies and all the material energies will become auspicious for your life. Everything will become perfectly streamlined for the success of your life. Please take to this chanting of Hare Krishna Mahamantra very, very seriously. And give up all laxity and lousiness in chanting of the holy name. Because that is the characteristic of Madhyam Adhikari. Although he may be inconclusive in the knowledge of Shastras, as we read the next quality, he may not be able to present the philosophy very convincingly to others. He may not be able to convince others about the importance of Krishna consciousness movement. But his personal practices, he has firm faith in the process of chanting. So therefore one has to understand that how this Madhyama platform is a very, very stable platform to which one has to rise after sufficient purification. So dealing is very refined, faith is very fixed up, and knowledge, he might be having inconclusive knowledge of Shastras. But he is fixed up and undeterred, surrendered to Krishna consciousness process continues at any cost. Whatever may happen, he does not give up. External circumstances may change. Sometimes one is very opulent, sometimes one is in the prison house, sometimes one is in this ashram or that ashram, sometimes one is performing the duties of different varnas. He might be on the battlefield, he might be at his house, he might be in front of his computer, he might be among his friends, but it does not lose the track. He always remains focused. Therefore, the characteristic is Vyavasatmika Buddhir. He is resolute in determination because he has understood Krishna consciousness is the only purpose of life. Krishna consciousness is the only perfection of life. He has understood that this is confidence in the process of bhakti, unflinching trust in something sublime. So therefore, surrender to Krishna consciousness process continues. Like we say, Dev Rishi Bhuta Tanrinam Pitrinam. One loses all obligations, interest in all the obligations to demigods, to ancestors, whatever, but does not deter from his surrender to Krishna consciousness. Like one disciple of Srila Prabhupada was taken by his family members back to the home after he joined full time. And he was tortured by the psychiatrist trying to tell him, to give up this Hare Krishna. You are brainwashed. This is not the right thing. You have gone mad. But he was so fixed up. He was so fixed up in chanting of Hare Krishna that in spite of torture, in spite of so much of harassment by the different psychiatrists and people, this devotee did not give up. And the doctors gave up on him. They said, if we remain with this person, we will go mad and we will start chanting Hare Krishna. Jai Shri Prabhupada ki Jai. So therefore, surrender to Krishna consciousness process continues, whatever may happen. So therefore, Madhyam Adhikari, these are the various characteristics. His dealings based on faith and knowledge, and he is fixed up and undeterred in all circumstances. And then we have Uttama Adhikari. What are the characteristics of Uttama Adhikari? Let us see that. Uttama Adhikari is the topmost devotee, the most exalted, the most purified, the best among all. Again, let us look at his positive engagements. First thing is, he is self-realized. He has understood his constitutional position as servant of Krishna. He is fully absorbed in that service. Nobody can deter. Nothing can affect him. No material implication can implicate him. He is self-realized because he has understood what his is constitutional position. And because of that, he sees everything as mercy of the Supreme Lord. Like Maharaj Chitraketu, after getting the revelation by the two sages and understanding the purpose of life, he got the darshan of the Lord within a very short span. He passed a comment on Lord Shiva, and Lord Shiva's wife was not very happy that why he passed such a comment, and she cursed Chitraketu Maharaj to become a demon. Chitraketu Maharaj did not even once ask why. Now just imagine, the curse is given, the blasphemy is done for no cause. Blasphemy is done for no cause. But understanding the exalted position of Shiva and his consort, he just bowed down and accepted whatever may come as the mercy of the Lord. The self-realized means one sees oneself always as a part and parcel of Krishna and always under the will of Krishna. He has understood what is his position. He has nothing to do with material angers, frustrations, ups and downs, criticisms, blasphemies, glorifications. He is absolutely aloof. One time Srila Prabhupada was giving a lecture in one of the European countries, and in the lecture he was telling how there are 4 classes of people. First class Brahmana, second class Kshatriya, third class Vaishya, fourth class Shudra. One person in the audience immediately raised hand. He said, so what do you think? You are first class and we are fourth class? Srila Prabhupada said, no, I am fifth class, with tears in his eyes. So this is what we see. With tears in his eyes, he with great humility, not thinking himself to be very high, fixed in the service of Krishna. One devotee told Srila Prabhupada, I am most fallen. Srila Prabhupada said, you are nothing the most. You are just insignificant. Like another devotee was telling, VIP. We are VIP. What is VIP? Very insignificant person. So self-realized means understanding that I am nothing but an insignificant part and parcel of Supreme Lord Krishna. 1/10,000th the tip of a hair. Wow. So insignificant, infinitesimal, anu, atomic in size. What is our value? It is only we who depend on Krishna. Otherwise, we are so insignificant. So, positive engagement, one is self-realized. And therefore, one does not take any interest in the designations of this world. Therefore, one of the definitions of pure devotional service is Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tatparatvena nirmalam. When one has given up all designations, Sarva Upadhi, Tatparatvena, and all the senses are engaged in the Rishikena Rishikesha Sevanam, in the service of Lord Rishikesh. Bhakti Ruchate, such is called pure devotional service. So one is self-realized. This is the positive engagement. When Vyasadeva was disappointed after writing so many Vedic literature and even the Vedanta Sutras and even about the Brahma realization, he had not sufficiently glorified Krishna. So Narad Muni came and chastised him. My dear Vyasadeva, are you satisfied by identifying with the body or mind as the self? How can you satisfy? The cause of dissatisfaction is improper or insufficient glorification of Krishna. So self-realize means understanding what is one's constitutional position. Unless and until one serves Krishna as the insignificant servant, one cannot be happy. So Uttamadhikari is self-realized. Like that. Then, seriously engage in the service of the Lord. Very serious. Nobody can shake him from the service of the Lord. His only purpose of life is service of the Lord. Therefore, Bharat Maharaj, he left the whole kingdom when the time came for renunciation, just like a person, it is described, passes stool and leaves it there. He doesn't look back or think of enjoying in that dirty place. Seriously engage in the service of the Lord. Vidura, when Vidura was thrown out by Duryodhana, when Vidurji was thrown out by Duryodhana, Vidura thought, wow, wonderful opportunity to do a holy pilgrimage. He did not think that, oh, Duryodhana has thrown me. He was not angry. He did not rebel back. He was just thinking, what an opportunity to seriously engage in Lord's service. So Uttamadhikari, he is always seeing how to carve out Krishna in my life. How to see Krishna in every situation. Yo mai pashyati sarvatra sarvam cha mai pashyati. One who sees me and sees everything in me and sees me in everything. Seriously engage in the service of the Lord. Such a person is Uttama Adhikari. Because he has understood the purpose of life, somehow make a strong relationship with Krishna. That is the only success. Pure. And he is free from all anarthas. He is free from all anarthas. So this is another thing. The absolutely disinterested in material enjoyment. Srila Haridas Thakur. When he was chanting and it was told to the prostitute that go ahead and make him fall down from his spiritual path. Now Srila Haridas Thakur was chanting so intensely that although this prostitute was there for 3 nights trying to dissuade him from his path, he did not even once thought of enjoying with that prostitute. Free from all desires of sense enjoyment. That is Uttama Adhikari. Srila Yamunacharya says, Yad avdhi mama cheta Krishna padara vindayor. When I even think of sex life, because my mind is so absorbed in service to Krishna, even a thought, I spit at the thought. Free from all anarthas. So therefore, positive engagements, and is very pure, free from all negative sides. That is Uttama Adhikari. Of course, you might be wondering that, wow, this is a very exalted platform. But after this, we will be discussing how a Kanishta Adhikari can gradually elevate to Uttama Adhikari. He is strict in following 4 regulative principles. Whatever may happen, he will never compromise on this. And another thing in relation to the preaching. Uttamadhikari is not just satisfied worshipping the deity. Uttamadhikari is not just satisfied delivering himself. Uttamadhikari expands Krishna consciousness and takes active. So Madhyamadhikari will also preach. And Uttamadhikari will also preach. But Uttamadhikari's preaching is because of his compassion which spreads everywhere. Madhyamadhikari may preach because of the order given by spiritual master. Uttamadhikari, he is self-inspired by his power of compassion. As we said, bhakti has compassion as its inherent component. So one who is carrying such power of bhakti, this bhakti is going to spread. Just like the other time we were discussing about Devaki. Devaki, when she is carrying Krishna, she has become so beautiful that her beauty is spreading everywhere. Converts many to Vaishnavism. Srila Prabhupada, he has done what was not done in the history. No religious movement has spread so fast the way Srila Prabhupada spread Vaishnavism on this planet in approximately 10 years. Just a decade. This is the power of an Uttamadhikari. Therefore, he is the best Guru. So, Uttama Adhikari is the highest level of devotee. Anybody, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama, anybody can be a Guru. But it is best, Uttam is the best one to guide us. Uttam is the best one who can elevate us to the process of bhakti very fast. So if we look here, what are the positive engagements? He is self-realized and he is seriously engaged in the service of the Lord. Pure, free from anarthas, strict in following 4 regulative principles, expands the movement, converts to Vaishnavism, and the best Guru. Then we have some more qualities of Uttamadhikari, which we'll be discussing in the next session. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna. Shri Prabhupada ki jai. Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai.